Hello and welcome back to Middle-earth in Mercia. This is part 2 of our Embrace the Darkness tournament coverage. We've got something a little bit different from part 1 as we're sort of learning what we can do and what we can't do. We decided, as we didn't have as many early finishers from round 3 and we were just going to wind up doing repeat interviews, that what we would do is record the top table from round 4. But don't fret, there is a update coming on the state of the tournament, and then there are plenty of interviews with players and the tournament winner to come. So stay tuned and here we go. Hello everyone, so we've got a bit of a special feature here. We weren't originally intending to do this, but we had a bit of time to set things up. You may have noticed we haven't really done any interviews between round 3 and round 4, and that's because we were looking at repeating a lot of the interviews. We've really sort of covered the people that are at the top end of the tournament, and some of the people with more quirky armies that sort of ran to time in round 3, so we didn't have an opportunity to speak to them. So what we have done is we've set up this what do we call it, Ash? Battle report, stream, I know it's not a stream, but live recording of the top table event. So I'm going to do my best to talk you through probably about the next hour and a half of content. There obviously might be some silence. We haven't got the players mic'd up because we don't want to interfere with them. Ash is going to be dropping in and out and sort of giving advice. I've got the books next to me and stuff, so I can go through them and I can check what's going on. But really, right now the players are setting up. But yeah, if this feels a bit rustic, it's because it is. It's our first time doing it. But yeah, I'm quite excited to see how this goes, and the ups and downs of our top table. The winner of this, if it's significant, has quite a high chance of winning the tournament overall. So we thought that'd be interesting too. But yeah, I'm just going to take a quick break from talking. We'll watch the players set up, and we'll start going through, I think, the current status of the tournament as it stands and the standings, to give you a bit of an update on that.
Yeah, I can see that. It disappears.
So yeah, just to update you on the current standings, on this top table we've got in first position Ryan Blinko, who we mentioned earlier, is a Centurion of Mercia. He is currently standing strong on 3 major victories, a margin of victory of 29, and points scored against of 7, and he is lining up against Liam Smith of the Wolves of Worcestershire. So just to give you an idea of who's on which side of the table, we've got Liam on the left, and currently we have Ryan on the right. So yeah, they're taking up the top 2 positions. And then filling out the, I think, yeah, we'll go down to sort of the top 8 again. So yeah, then we've got Loz Barfoot, who is, let's have a look, he is on 2 major wins and 1 minor win. So that's put him in 3rd position with 22 margin of victory. He's using the Eagles. Then we've got we sort of move out of our undefeated. So Loz could potentially see himself crowned victor. He's unfortunately on another table. We can't do multi-table coverage yet. So then we've got Ned Merrick, and he's got the last alliance list, and he's on 2 wins and 1 loss and a margin of victory of 19. In 5th, we then have Matthew Light Barrett, and he is playing, let's have a quick look. He's playing the Goblin he's the one that's playing the Moray list with loads and loads of goblins. He's on 2-1 with a margin of victory of 18. Then we have Harry Parkill from the Entmoot podcast, who's just been interviewing Ash actually, in 6th position on 2-1 with Return of the King and a margin of victory of 30. Then we have Tom Marsh of the Fellowship of Steel. Quite a few of those guys here today. Loz is one of them as well, up on 3rd position at the moment. He's on. So going back to Tom, he's on 2-1 and a margin of victory of 23. And then we have another Centurion of Mercia, Dale Hasty, in 8th, who, he had a bit of a scramble and I think thought his day wasn't going to go as well as he was hoping, but he's managed to pull it back and he's now 2-1 in 8th with a margin of victory of 14. So there are quite a lot of people on 2-1, so I'm not going to keep going further down, but it goes down to about 13th, and anybody really down to there could see themselves sort of catapulted upwards, potentially even to the podium, really, because we've got 3 undefeated players, and potentially 2 of them could not be undefeated by the end of this. So 3-1 could actually see you into 2nd at this juncture. I think that's it's one of the things I like about single day tournaments. It is unlikely to win the tournament if you do lose a game, but with a bit of luck, you can catapult yourself right up there. Right, with that said, now things are getting moving on the table a bit more. Let's focus on the game at hand. So we are playing Fog of War, which fans of the show will be aware is my least favourite scenario, but it should make for a really thrilling game here. Especially I think if we can nab some player interviews with them afterwards to see who their targets were and who they were protecting. So just to reiterate again, it's a traditional deployment. So on the right we have Minas Morgul, Ryan Blinko, Centurion of Mercia on the right of your screen, and then we have Leon Smith with Army of the White Hand on the left-hand side of your screen. So fairly traditional deployment, 12 inches on both sides. So that's what you're seeing right now. I'm not quite sure what the players are discussing, but you could fairly confidently expect them to line up in 2 sort of battle lines here. So before we do a deep dive on their individual armies, let's go through the Fog of War scenario. So at the start of the game, secretly note down one of your own hero models. It can't be your general. Basically, you have to protect this. If it's still alive and has suffered no wounds, you get 3 victory points. If the nominated hero is still alive and suffered no wounds and spent no fate points, you get 5. So if they're still alive, it's 1. If no wounds, 3. If no fate spent, it's 5. And at the start of the game, secretly note down one of your opponent's hero models. This may not be your opponent's general, so it's the reverse on the other side. If you cause 1 or more wounds, you get 1 point. If it has been removed as a casualty, you get 3 points. If the nominated hero has been removed as a casualty as a result of one of your models wounding them in combat, so it just makes it more specific there, you get 5 points. At the start of the game, secretly note down a single terrain piece wholly within your opponent's half of the board. You score 1 victory point if at the end of the game you have more models than your opponent in base contact with that. If you have twice as many, you get 3. If your opponent has no models in base contact with the chosen terrain, you instead score 5. You score 1 victory point if the enemy general was wounded during the game. If the enemy general was removed as a casualty, you instead score 2 victory points. You score 1 victory point if the enemy army is broken at the end of the game. If the enemy army is broken and your army is not, you instead score 3 victory points. So that is the makeup of the 20 available points to both of our players here. Both of them, I expect, will be going into this very much looking for a major victory, because whoever takes the major victory here is certain to be the winner. So we've got 2 really cracking armies here. I'm quite excited to watch how this goes down. When you're when you're TOing and you're assisting, you don't often get time to see the ins and outs of a game. So it's going to be interesting to see how this unfolds. We might miss a few details and stuff because we are doing a single camera setup, but I think we should get a good idea of the overall vibe. So now we've been through the scenario, we need to continue to fill time, don't we? So let's go through some of the lists while the players continue to deploy warband by warband. So let's start with Ryan's list. I'm just loading it up now. So if you watch the list review, if you are just launching straight into this, I highly recommend going back and looking at our tournament preview and then checking out the pre-coverage to this final round. But yeah, we did go through Ryan's list, and this is a very different Minismorgul list than I was looking at running. It relies on numbers, and it has good numbers really for this 560 point tournament. So we've got time, so why not go through in full detail? So in Warband 1, he's got the Witch King, the Horse, Crown, and the Morgul Blade. He then has 7 orcs with shields in that warband. Then has a orc with a 2-handed weapon. There's 5 orcs with spears, 1 orc with banner, and then 1 spectre. And then in warband 2 we have an orc captain with a shield, 5 orcs with shields, 1 orc with 2-handed weapon, 3 orcs with spears, and 1 spectre. And then finishing things off, we have an orc captain with shield, 5 orc shields, 1 orc with 2-handed weapon, 3 orcs with spears, and 1 spectre. So yeah, 3 spectres in there. He's got a pretty powered up Witch King. In this build he has to take the 18 will. Gives you a lot of options. You have lost the re-rolls, but there is a lot of options still with him, and very, very hitty. And yeah, like I say, good numbers. Now let's go to Leon's. Also a list that we reviewed in the preview. Just loading it up. So yeah, again, this is 560 points, 32 models. So Ryan does have a slight advantage on numbers, but these are very similar lists really when you sort of face them up. We've got another very powerful caster, Saruman, on foot, and in his warband we have a Crabane, we have an Uruk-hai scout with banner, we have an 3 Uruk-hai scouts with shield, 2 wild men of Dunland with spear, 1 man of Dunland with flaming brand, 2 Uruk-hai scouts with Uruk-hai bows. Then we have a wild man chieftain, which I do have to say is a very, very cheap and cost-efficient option. Only 40 points, giving you 12 slots there. Bring in an Uruk-hai scout with shield, 2 wild men of Dunland with spear, 1 wild man of Dunland with flaming brand, and 2 Uruk-hai scouts with Uruk-hai bow. Then in the third warband we have the wild man Oathbreaker, who obviously gives the wild men of Dunland fearless ability, really handy. And then we have a Crabane, we have 3 Uruk-hai scouts with shield, 2 wild men of Dunland with spear, 1 wild man of Dunland with flaming brand, and 2 Uruk-hai scouts with Uruk-hai bow. And then finally we have Grima Wormtongue, and it'll be interesting to see what sort of role Grima plays in this game. I mean, obviously you can make that your target to protect, but Grima is vulnerable to magic. You can be targeted with magic, so be interesting to see how that pans out. I need to let my voice rest for a minute, so I'm going to bring in Ash and let him give you a few words on what he's thinking of this matchup. So Ash, you've got I'm pinned in my little hovel here. I can't really look around. Are you seeing anything significant in the deployments here that you're surprised at? I mean, it's looking fairly standard to me right now.
Yeah, it's looking fairly standard. They're just lined up in a row, as you'd probably expect in this sort of scenario. It's going to be an interesting matchup because the Blades of the Dead against the Uruk-hai can be quite deadly. With the low courage, so and especially the wild men as well. I'm just trying to find out to see where Grimmer is. I can't see him from where I'm sat.
You can maybe be my man on the ground, Ash. You go out, you do a little bit of a spy mission, you come back and you can give us some more details.
Yeah, I can go and have a look at where everyone's set up, and then I'll come back and report where everyone's lined up from a different perspective. Yeah, I think it's going to be a good matchup and a good game. These two players, quite friendly blokes. We've interviewed them both today, so I think it'll be quite a reasonable game, sporting-wise. So yeah, looking forward to watching it play out.
It's always nice, to be honest, to see people that do play the game in a really good spirit, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Do well.
Especially at the top tables. Like we always say in a podcast that we would respect top players more if they get good most sporting votes as well.
Yeah.
I would rank that a bit higher, that if you come in top 5 and you also have 3 or 4 top most sporting votes and you sort of win that vote, then to me that shows that you've played the game how it should be played and you've proved you're the best general.
It is just a shame that when we've been to events that have soft voting, it doesn't ever seem to quite work, does it?
No, yeah.
Right, here we go. The game is cracking off. The players have shaken hands. You can hear the excitement at the table. Things are going to start getting underway. Doing the first priority roll. So Ryan has 1 priority, and he has given it to Liam. We're underway. I don't know if you've ever seen the Mitchell and Webb, where they have these snooker commentators. I'm feeling a bit like that right now. Like if I go real close to it, I mean, all I need is a couple of pints back here. You've seen some of the podcasts. I do like the odd beer, and I can be singing "Lady in Red."
I feel like we should have had like a webcam. Just on your face.
I'm in the corner getting more and more half cut. No, I'm flagging slowly through the day. So you heard me pop open a Monster earlier. Ash is just having a bit of a nosy.
Yeah, so as you'd expect, Grimmer is right next to the Witch King. So I guess the plan there is going to try and burn through the Witch King's might, forcing him to use 2 might every time he tries to use 1.
But, I mean, we're obviously not going to get involved in the game and point anything out, but I do believe I'm correct in saying that Grimmer, is it Grimmer or Grimmer? I think it's Grimmer. I think Grimmer is one of the goblins. But anyway, you can hear me perking up. The monster has hit my veins. Yeah, we're obviously not going to point out, and I'm lowering my voice a bit here because I don't want to point something out to a player because, you know, this is it's like being a wildlife photographer. It's non-interference, isn't it? But he is vulnerable to magic, and I wonder whether Ryan is aware of that. It'd be interesting to talk to him afterwards if that is something he's aware, or is Liam aware of that? So we'll have to see how that plays out throughout the rest of the game. I'm hoping that they can't hear me because it is quite noisy in here. Do you reckon my voice is carrying? I don't
think so.
Yeah, okay, good. But yeah, we maybe have to get a photo of me in my little hide. I think it's quite funny. Right, so we've got Liam moving his battle line forward, and it is obviously obscured by that building. We're going to have to hope. Oh no, he's calling in the lightning. Here we go. So it looks like he's selecting the right-hand side of Ryan's battle line in the centre.
From my view, it looks like he's using the banner as his centre point for the lightning.
Okay, so he's going to try and do a clean sweep. That's quite a canny move. If it comes off, you've obviously got to make quite a few dice rolls, but potentially leave that banner with nobody around it. Yeah. I would imagine he gets to choose which dice rolls he does first.
So he's just unloaded a massive bag of dice.
Yeah, that's quite aggressive. Don't worry, it's not that many dice, I think. Okay, so he's doing 2 orcs. We're going to go a bit quiet so we can listen to the players.
Yeah, because you're 4, right? Yeah. On the spearman. I think it still makes it 4. Yeah, 6. Yeah.
The 3's on the 6 versus 4.
It don't have to feel like that. 100% is, one less is for anything lower than that. Okay.
I'd like that back there.
Yeah.
I'm watching that. That's coming home with me.
The spearman? No, he's okay.
First one's got away with it.
He's not okay.
Second one is dead.
So then we've got the other 4 guys there. We do the 2 spearmen. One dead.
One is spearman dead, and another one dead. So that's 3 dead total. And the banner. Banner is also dead. He is able to pass it off, so that is not bad at all. Witch King's horse survives. That's a big one.
Yeah, because it's a wounding run. Stability from him.
So a point of might is being used by Saruman here to do an additional casualty, wasn't it?
Additional wound on the to do a wound on the Witch King.
Oh, to do a wound on the Witch King. So he's fating it,
and it's past the fate.
What I know we were talking about. Yeah, just roll in the terrain. I feel bad over it. No, it won't make a difference. No, it's all good.
Here comes the fate roll. Oh no. This is disastrous. So to make it clear what's happened there, the players were discussing that they were going to roll it in the dice tray. So he'd initially done a roll, so they both agreed to roll it in the dice. Unfortunately, he has failed all 3 fate, and 2 points of might have had to been spent to save the Witch King. So it's not an ideal start to the game for the Centurion of Mercia. Bit of bad luck. That has happened to be myself. It is a funny thing with the Witch King, isn't it, Ash? Sometimes he feels invulnerable, and sometimes he feels very, very vulnerable.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that lightning move by Saruman is very OP at the minute. I think it catches a lot of people off in that first turn using it.
What can you do against such reckless hate?
You can't. What can you do? Because
there's very little. You either leave yourself in a state of disarray for the vast majority of the game, and they could just keep it right until the end, and then you have no choice. There's not a lot of good options about it. I do think it's something that they need to look at. I wouldn't like to see it move to a 4-up roll or something like that, because it is still there. The feel bad. It's not the ability to do it; it's the fact that you can't do anything about it. I think personally, if it affects a hero, you should be able to resist.
Yeah.
I think that simple fix, is still pretty powerful. You can still bomb a load of infantry, but I do think that they should consider allowing you to resist it if you're a hero.
Yeah, but maybe only on the hero, and it still affects the troops it would have hit.
I guess the question then becomes, what role can you resist it on? Because obviously you're not rolling to cast it. I would suggest something like a 4-up.
Yeah.
To make it unpalatable to target a hero.
Maybe you have to roll to cast it, and then you can resist it as a hero.
I'm not sure if that's a bit too far.
Yeah, it just seems a bit OP that you
two opportunities to fail.
You can just automatically send a lightning bolt from the sky and kill he's had to burn some might. There's 3 orcs died. That's quite a hard hit to take in your first turn.
So, just to update the players, you can obviously, the listeners, the viewers, you can obviously see that Ryan has moved his army up. They're doing priority. Lian has won, and he is taking priority. So we can expect to see his moves unfolding. I mean, one thing I will say, you know, although what has happened to the Witch King is a bit of a disaster for Ryan, it's certainly recoverable. We went through the fog of war points earlier. If he can keep him secure, if he can get the value out of that spell casting and keep him back, it's certainly recoverable just because of the way the points fold out, play out in this game mode. It's just, I think I'm going to wear myself out if I keep talking continuously. Ash, this is actually, I think, a format where we're allowed to have periods of silence.
Yeah, I think so. I think people are here to watch the game unfold, and if we see any key moments, then I think we'll chip in on those key moments. And I think towards the end it's going to be a bit more heavy on the commentary, because that's when you get the more key moments. At the minute they're just moving up the board. Obviously Saruman's lightning is a key moment in the game, but I don't think we'll see that until the lines clash.
Yeah, I mean, can you see where the Witch King is? Is he at the front?
So the Witch King's at the front, but he's hidden within a building.
That's him behind that building, just in front of the line, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, you can see Leon. He's throwing his flaming brands forward. The dominant rule not really playing a factor in this game mode, so doesn't matter if they're expended. He's got his Crabane acting as I would sort of expect light cavalry in a traditional setup. Can you see what Ryan? So on what in the screen is the right hand side? Behind that building, over the far side, has he got additional troops over that side, hidden behind the building?
Yeah, has he got some more troops on that side of the building that we can't see?
Using those superior numbers to able to sort of spread himself across the table.
Yeah.
They have 4 wounds.
So Leon is just sort of taking Ryan through the rules of the Crabane. They're a bit of a tar pit, really. 4 wounds, that's quite hard to get off something. I like to use them personally when the battle lines meet, like in this sort of scenario where you don't need to grab objectives. When the battle lines meet, you go behind and you set up an unexpected trap.
Also, don't forget with this army they get that special rule where Saruman uses them as his line of sight.
Yeah, that is a good point there, Ash. So we're about 27 minutes into this Middle-earth in Mercia special presentation of round 4 of Embrace the Darkness, a 4-game GBHL90 event, 560 points, with the added rule that any shooting that takes place more than 12 inches away from your target requires a 4+ to go through. So, you know, Ash, what's that? I was going to ask you something. I think some casting is happening. So a 5+ spell has been cast. I'm not sure what it was.
But it failed.
Sorry?
It failed.
It failed, okay.
Yeah.
Well, it was required on a 5+, okay. But yeah, Ash, while we've got a bit of a moment, because as you say, this game is only going to heat up. How's it gone? Like, you know, your Embrace the Darkness rule.
Yeah, I think walking around, it's had the effect that I've expected it to have. It's forcing people to get in and have the combats, and I think, especially in whole ground, we saw some big swings in the combats and a lot of armies getting wiped off the table. Through combats instead of someone just sitting in the middle shooting or I think speaking to people playing it, I think it hasn't had an effect in the way they play at the tournament, but it's had an effect in what they've brought to the tournament. And some people, I think it's forced them to bring lists they wouldn't normally try.
So you think rather than changing the pace at the tabletop, the change in armies has then forced the change of play itself?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. I must admit that I did expect to see more monsters, and maybe some more higher skill heroes.
Sorry, you're on that, sorry.
That's all right, no problem. Ash is just answering a rules question. So as you can tell, we are live at a tournament. So Ash has just had to deal with a rules question. Luckily, there are two of us, so you're stuck with me. It's going to be a one-person conversation again. But let's just sort of, I think, sit and watch this game unfold a little bit. I don't want to bore you by talking for the sake of it. I think we. Was that a sorcerer's plant? Oh no, that's a compel. That's a compel. Because obviously it's the Witch King, so moving him away into a less opportune situation. Possibly he's done that so that if he can win priority next turn, he can then try and black dart him. He's alone, he would drop the banner. That's the sort of shift that Ryan's going to be looking for right now. Like, you know, he did get knocked a bit.
Yeah, intelligence 7.
You can see Ryan bringing that broad front there, using the numbers advantage has decreased, but he's still got it. On a personal note, this is quite nice to be able to sit down for this length of time. I've been running here, there, and everywhere. So a little bit of a courage test going on there. So, he has compelled using the Spectre ability. Yeah, that's what was going on there. Okay, I've worked it out now. So Ryan has used the Spectre. He's done an intelligence test onto the Crabane, and he's brought them in for. I can't quite see. You know, I've got a slightly different view than the camera does, and it looks like it's a full envelopment there. So he's looking to take that out of the game. A nice use of the Spectre's ability there. Ryan just checking the movement range on his opponent's battle line.
Spearman ammo 12 though, so I'm going to do in the ways. One here. In the way. No. It's the walls. No, I don't know. What is it? Incomprehensible bubble. Yeah. Energy. Nice. Well, it's really one of the quality heroics.
You know, in an ideal world, we would have a specific dice tray, but there is challenges with this setup that we've got autofocus on. So you may notice that particularly the models on the far side of the board aren't as visible as we would like. Those look like some good rolls from Ryan. I'm not sure what it was for. But yeah, you will have to let us know what you think of this setup. How watchable this is, and you know, we are limited in what we can do at a tournament, but if we were to have a second camera, what second camera would you be looking for? So that was a dual roll, and then that was the wound on the Grabane. So Ryan's successfully taken that out of the game, having done the Spectre lure with it. And Ash has just joined us at the table again. Are you going to jump back in, Ash? Give my voice a rest.
Oh, yes, that's right. And then the rest are nice.
Hi everyone.
He's back.
Did I miss a lot more something?
So mainly what happened was that Ryan spected a Grabane, brought it within his lines, and then surrounded it and killed it. So pretty successful move. I'm not sure what's just been taken out there. What was that, Ash?
That was the Dunland guy.
Was that a chieftain?
Yeah. Either
So
the chieftain or the.
Yeah. So he's using him as a chieftain, I think. So yeah, I assume what we missed earlier was a very similar thing has happened over there, and he's lured in and then surrounded him. So two really nice moves there from Ryan, and after that great lightning attack at the beginning, it's those kind of moves he's going to have to make to bring this back. But one thing we can't underestimate, I wish we had realised, I had realised the significance of what had been done there. This is Fog of War. That could very easily have been Ryan's target.
Yeah.
Could be a big shift in this game there.
It has got a 50% chance of being Ryan's target.
Yeah. So we're only really going to be able to tell whether that is the case or not based on how Ryan reacts, really. If he starts to play more conservative, that could well have been it. But yeah, that is the mystery of Fog of War, isn't it?
Yeah, we don't know till the end.
So Ash, how are the rest of the tables treating us?
Yeah,
has it descended into anarchy now that we're over here?
No, I think it's still going quite well. We just had a rules question about can Treebeard smash up buildings, which I've not come across that question before, but
that's a solid no. I think.
It was a solid no.
It's not a destructible environment.
No. John from Venator has decided to counteract the Ents. He's just going to hide in the buildings because they can't get in their buildings. And everyone else seems like they're having a good time. It's going to be interesting to see how it fares up in the end, whether we get one of these two on the top table.
1 hour, thank you. We just had a time update from the helpful staff here at Venator. There is 1 hour remaining, so quite a bit of game still to play here. That means we're about 40 minutes in, so you only missed out on about 3 from the start. A heck of a lot of game to play, really.
Yeah, they're already at the point of clashing, which is what I wanted to see.
Yeah, this is where things are going to get even more confusing. We will do our absolute best. As I say, we've got a slightly different angle, so if we can see something that's not obviously visible on the camera, we'll lay that out for you. Do have to say, I'll take this opportunity now, I'm not sure if I did earlier, but just to say a big thanks to the players themselves, Ryan and Liam, being really good sports in allowing us to do this coverage. Both of them have given us time to do interviews, have given us the thumbs up to record this. They have a really blinding light glaring on both of them that I felt a bit bad about, but that they've said it is no bother to them. So yeah, thanks to both of them, regardless of how this game plays out, for letting us bring this special broadcast here.
So it looks like we might be right about his target being taken, because Ryan has just moved the Witch King to the far corner of the board, behind a building. So my assumption is he's now protecting the Witch King in the hope to sort of push the game more in his favour.
Yeah, or there's a few possible options there, isn't he? He could have sort of pocketed him for later in the game. You know, he is vulnerable.
Yeah. Having used his might.
Double ones. I'm not sure what that's for, but that's not good.
It looks like it was for a cast-in again.
I feel like we could play some wagers on this. I'm not sure where that stands on with the YouTube publishing. Hopefully the audio is coming through loud and clear. If not, I'll have to do some post editing. But from everything we can see at the moment, the recording is going well. You never know with these sort of logistical issues. It's our first time doing this. You do always worry it's going to go wrong. I keep thinking every time I shake the table, oh, what am I doing? But the camera's over there, isn't it?
Yeah, the camera's not touching the table. This is the first time we've managed to get everything synced together while we've been in the store. Thanks to you and your fancy new laptop.
It's something I would consider in future. I think for the interviews, 1080p is quite good. I do wonder whether we dial up the resolution. If there are any camera whizzes, they can give us advice on how to improve our setup for battle reports or however you want to phrase it. I'm not sure if it really is a battle report because it's a live game.
A live game, isn't it? It's like we're recording a live game and we're commentating on it. We haven't come specifically with a report in mind.
I've got to say, some Starrup ramen would go great right now. We're not sponsored, but if you do want to, I would be more than up for it.
Make sure you buy us a coffee and we'll use it for beer.
If you have made it this far through the video and you are enjoying it, please do make sure to like and subscribe. That is Ash's catchphrase. We do really enjoy your support and helping us to grow the channel and grow the community, by de facto grow the community here. Everything at the moment is being reinvested, and it's letting us do bigger and better things such as this. Now, Ash, it looks like things have moved quite a bit nearer. You've got a better angle than me. Have the lines met, or is Liam just getting into a position?
No, we've got some of the lines meeting on the far right side.
Yeah, we can see that on the camera.
The far top end of the board for the camera.
And you can see the Witch King lurking there, can't you?
Yeah, he's just hiding behind that building. Is he ready to pounce, or is he just hiding there to stay safe?
It's less obvious if you're on Liam's side on the board, although I'm sure he has not forgotten where he is. But yeah, you can really see him in the shadow on the camera here lurking. Where's Grima Wormtongue?
I think he's just like in the middle of the board.
Okay. Ash, by the way, here's a little bit of behind the scenes. If you do need to run off to do a rules ruling, just put the mic down, it's fine.
Okay.
It allows you to get to the table quicker.
I'll take the mic with me for some additional content.
Give me some live on the ground. Yeah. But yeah, sort of following this. Although I want to see this game through to its natural conclusion, part of me does hope it wraps up a little quickly, because after this we're going to have to totally reposition the camera, reposition the lights, and get ready for the award ceremony.
Yeah. We've got some nice awards today. We've got some Oscars for people, kindly provided by John. Great support from prize-wise from John as usual.
So, Ash, I've got to ask, while we've got a bit of time, because there's going to be a lot of dice rolls coming, you have cheated on me with another podcast.
Yeah.
I saw you with that other man's mic. How was it? Was he kinder to you than me?
Yeah, he was actually quite pleasant to me. It was a place to you. We've got Enmoot here today. So he's doing his usual event coverage.
Yeah, he sort of does a vlog of his experience at the tournament, doesn't he?
Slightly offended he didn't know who we were, but he knows now.
Did you say that? Don't you know who I am?
He thought we was a community, so I obviously plugged the podcast where I could.
We're all things to all people.
Yeah, we are a community.
I'm not sure, resting it on your face, Ash, whether the audio will come through all right.
Okay.
Hopefully that's not been distorted, yeah. But yeah, we don't have time to test it because we're live in game, so we're better err on the side of
It might
caution.
sound like I'm underwater or something.
Yeah, I mean these mics, let us know in the comments whether you've got any ideas on the audio, but I do think they're quite good at cutting through the noise when you talk.
Yeah, I think so.
So it looks like to me that on the near side of the table, Ryan has actually decided to withdraw slightly, and on the right side of the table, so the far side for you, he's starting to push the advantage. You can see there with the Crabane engaged. Is that what's happening, Ash? Is that accurate?
Yeah, it looks like he sort of built a sort of a line to stop Leon from coming round on this near side, while the lines have clashed at the top side.
I'm just checking. I know we went through them earlier. Whether there's banner points. No, there aren't banner points. So interesting choice. Maybe he just wants it for the late game, but interesting choice there to keep the banner back from Leon.
I think what happened was Ryan did a compel.
Oh yeah,
the
he definitely did, but that was a couple of turns ago now.
I do see some loom bands on there though, so maybe they've been transfixed or something.
Could only do one at a time though. I think maybe it's just some caution. I mean, I'm double checking here. So we've got Army Broken, we've got General, we've got Terrain Piece, we've got your own person, and we've got their person. So there aren't any points for banners. So maybe it's just a bit of caution. Another Crabane down, he's out of the game now. That's quite a bit of mobility lost, but no objectives to grab, no board edges to get off. So,
there is technically a bit of an objective to grab with the Terrain Piece.
Good point, Ash. That is a really good point. Yeah, that could have been quite valuable, if you time it right. Yeah, that's a really good point. Very salient point from you, Ash, there.
Yeah.
For this time of the day.
I'm always switched on.
As we progress through the game day. So we're approaching about the 50-minute mark now.
And I think both Crabane have been taken out
they're
of action.
Yeah. Which it's a limitation of the setup, but I wonder how that other Crabane went out. Was it an active choice? Did he go in there as a block, or was he lured in again? Great work if he was lured in again. We'll have to ask Ryan at the game's conclusion. We'll do our best to do as much support coverage for this game as possible, but we do also have to respect it's been a long day for the players. They've both already given us some of their time, and one of them is highly likely to wind up on the podium, so it's going to be spoken to anyway. Maybe we can just do a quick reaction.
Yeah. I'll go and have a scout on what the other games are doing, and maybe give us a little report on maybe the third place game that could pip these two for the prize.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Let us know, especially how Loz's game is going. It's on the bottom, Ash. Just really moving through these combats now. So win to Leon, he's going to try and hit the Spectre. It's a defense 6 model, so yeah, 5s and 6s to wound. Oh, it's out of the tray. It's a 5, so that's a wound on the Spectre. It's not a hero. Yeah, it's not a hero, so that's the Spectre gone. But you know, if he played a part, I'm not sure whether it was the Witch King or whether it was the Spectre, but if he played a part in taking down that chieftain, job done already. We've got 6s on both sides. Okay, it's a drawn fight. Ryan has been designated more evil. No wound from the resolution of that combat. Ryan is elected to take the priority after winning the roll.
So I have some news from the next table down.
An update from the field, okay, yeah.
So it was 17-5 to Loz.
Well, it's already finished.
So it's already finished. So we...
That's a major victory.
A major victory, yeah. So he's got a MOV of 34. So it's a...
So that is a... If my maths is correct, that is a minimum second place finish for Loz.
Yeah,
who
so
we spoke to earlier, playing the Eagles list.
He's on 23 points, so he's had 3 majors and 1 minor. So if one of these guys gets a major, then they've taken it.
If this ends in a draw, Loz wins, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
What's his margin of victory, sorry?
34.
And what are both of these chaps on?
Ryan is on 29 and Leon is on 21.
So he would need, if one of them wins, he would need Ryan to get a minor victory and a very small margin of victory.
Yeah, very small.
And if Leon were to get a minor victory, he would need him to not get an outrageously big one.
Yeah.
But if either one of these players does secure a major victory, they are the champion for the day, taking the first place.
Yes. Yeah.
So what was Loz up against?
So it was Loz versus Dale.
Dale as in the person, or Dale as in the army?
in Centurion.
Okay, yeah.
So it was Eagles versus Minas Morgul.
I remember seeing Dale earlier. He was facing up against that Balrog list for Hold Ground. Did he win that?
Yes, I believe he did.
Cracking job. I have to talk to him later. That is a really impressive result, regardless of where he winds up. Or at about 50.
So yeah, it was a 12-1 victory to Dale on Hold Ground.
That is I think that is a really impressive result. So we're approaching about the 55-minute mark on this game. In the real world live, we're approaching about 4:30. This is game 4 of a 4-game tournament, 560 points. And we're just sort of seeing the allocation of resources, where both players want to fight, and that is definitely like on the near side now. We're definitely seeing Ryan withdraw, aren't we?
Yeah, so he's moving his line a bit more round,
and I think we can only really take that one way, that there's nothing of value over there to him.
Yeah, I think so.
He doesn't think he can win the fight, and it looks like Liam would have advantage numbers there. So it looks like to me he doesn't think he can win the fight for the break, and there's nothing of value over there.
Yeah, I think so. He will struggle here, I think, with the fighter skill against Little Rooks. But if he does win those combats, then you could see them falling apart.
Any idea what's being discussed right now?
Okay, so I think they're discussing
the Witch King.
Witch King. Yeah.
They've just discussed the fact he's got no fate, 1 wound. You never ever want to see your Witch King with no fate and 1 wound. That is not a good situation. Just, you know, one bad bit of luck and he pops.
He has got the advantage though that the Witch King is mounted, so he has got the manoeuvrability there to outmaneuver.
Yeah, you can certainly pop out. We're not interfering, are we, Ryan? No. I was wondering if you could hear our mutterings. Unavoidable. Apologies for the camera angle at the moment, but the players have got to prioritise playing the game. The number one thing we didn't want to do was interfere with their game.
Yeah, I think we need a top-down mount.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to see what the budget allows.
Yeah. I think John was speaking about maybe setting up a rig in here, so we'll have our own personal studio at home. And
you want a T-shirt? maybe. If you do win, Ryan, that's a big thing for the team. Yeah. He's clearly feeling all right about the game. He's bannering us.
Next time, I think we'll get bibs for the players to wear with our branding on.
But yeah, a lot of games still to play. I think we are looking at probably it's playing to 1 hour 40, isn't it? So
yeah.
We've got about 45 minutes of play left. 40 minutes of open play, and then it'll be declared no additional turns. You can see Leon is moving up now. He knows he needs to get involved. It is quite interesting, really, watching. You know, when you play this game by yourself. Well, not by yourself. That would be a weird game of Middle-earth.
No, we're not playing Kill Team.
But no, when you're in the game, it's quite hard to spend the mental resource to sort of analyse it. I sort of feel like we do have a bit of a vibe of what's going on here.
Yeah, I guess it's a bit like when you're a commentator on a football match, you get to see a lot more of the game, whereas when you're playing the game, you maybe don't see that as much. Especially, I think,
bit of shooting going on, rare at this tournament.
If you
and in the way.
If you think about NFL, they've got coaches and stuff in the stands looking down on the game to help them. But when you're on the sideline, it's hard for the coach to really see what's happening. So I think it's a very unique perspective that we have of being able to watch the game, and
it's nice as a TO to see one of the games playing out as well. This is far more interesting than when we're sitting there not having anything to do.
Yeah, definitely. And let us know, guys, if you like this sort of content. Maybe one tournament we could do a whole host of every game, 4 games in a game.
I mean, certainly, if it proves popular, then we'll do it again. Leon's won another combat there based on fight skill. Is an advantage he's going to be able to press throughout this game.
Right, I'm going to go and collect our most sporting votes.
Okay, yeah. Apologies as assistant to the tournament organiser that I'm not doing that for you.
You just get to watch a game, which...
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. I'm getting to sit down. If I had something to eat, it would be all the better.
I'll take the mic with me so we can get a direct feed. No,
I'm not sure what I do. Are you going for a while? You'll be gone for a while, won't you?
Yeah, I'm going to ask every player who their favourite game was.
Do you want to turn the mic off then?
Yeah.
I don't really want to get in trouble for having outed everybody's votes, which should be kept confidential.
All right, good luck. All right, you're stuck with me once again. A priority roll. So Liam is electing to take the priority. Always nice to be able to push the advantage with priority when the lines have been met, to choose those favourable matchups. And yeah, quite an important expenditure here. Ryan has decided to call a heroic combat on what is the far side of the battle flag. Minor earthquake there as Liam, I think, maybe put a bit too much pressure on the table. Liam has won the roll-off for the heroics. Quite important. I can't imagine that either player has spent that might unless it was an important option.
So we're going to do it slightly differently then. We use one of his abilities, which is Thunder, which means that your entire army gains the fearful special rules.
Saruman, so this is quite interesting. Liam is using the Thunder special rule for Saruman, so that all of Ryan's army gains the Fearful special rule. So he will have to take courage tests to charge. Different from Terror as well, so I don't, but I'll let the players handle this at the table. But I don't believe the Spectres or the other spirits are going to be able to help Ryan. Liam has obviously decided this is a turn he can push his advantage. We'll try and push things to his advantage by getting in there, mobbing some characters, and then with Ryan playing Orcs, really limiting his counter. Just passed over a few minutes ago the 1 hour mark for this game. Just listening. Ryan's having a moment to think. I'm just listening, see if we can pick up anything tableside.
One attack, fight 5. Yeah, one attack. That's true.
Saruman is being discussed. His battle stats. This to me looks like quite a big move. You can see there that Ryan he's bursting through a break in the line. It's bringing the banner forward. You can just about make out that is a Spectre. They're discussing that he can't be brought directly into combat, so he's having to stop directly in front. I think, it's minor in the grand scheme of things, especially as there's no banner points. I really hope that is the case. I've read through the rules several times, and I hope I'm not getting that massively wrong. But perhaps an ever so slight mistake from Ryan there, not realising that you can't bring him through the control zone, so he's not getting that combat, which is a bit of a shame for him. But as I say, we've got at least half an hour of this game to play. I think we're about 1 hour 5 minutes. When you reach 1 hour 35, at the 5 minute warning at our tournaments, no further turns are to be played, and then there is a further 5 minute overrun, and when you reach the end of that 5 minute overrun, then it is a strict dice down.
PT2.
That was your move. Yeah, that was my move. Yeah. Him. You don't have to. Yeah, you choose not to. Yeah. If you really want to, you can give it a try.
Oh yeah, we have a roll-off to see who's correct on that game. If you win the roll-off and then lose, then I'll get to again. That's like next level. But it's like people shooting into.
Sorry, just looking at a few of the technical features here. Everything seems like it is all right though, so nothing to worry about. Liam just moving round to the other side of the table, checking a few things on that side of the battle line where notably Ryan has sort of pulled back a bit. Not sure how near either player is to breaking. It looks like Liam is quite a long way off. When Ash does return after he's collected the best sporting votes, we make sure to avoid anybody sort of double voting or voting for friends. That is a problem we have unfortunately seen at other tournaments by going around and collecting those votes on an individual basis. So that's what he's doing at the moment. Oh, I think we're going to have a time update. 30 minutes remaining. Thank you very much. So yeah, 30 minutes of this game left. So I hope you are enjoying this continued uninterrupted coverage of our top table Embrace the Darkness GBHL90 560 point event. We've got Minas Morgul piloted by Ryan here, and we have got Army of the White Hand being commanded by Liam. Both players on 3 major victories. Just to reiterate, if it is an absolute certainty now, if either one of these players takes home a major victory, then this tournament is theirs, and they will be finishing first place at our second ever tournament. Hosting, that is. So some of those fearful checks are coming in now. Ryan's going to have to do some courage checks if he wants to get some charges off here. Doesn't look like he's got too many charges to do. hard. I mean, it looks to me like the lines are fairly, like, you know, we've got that bit in the centre, and we've got sort of towards the right hand side. It looks like things are fairly well engaged anyway. I think Liam just did the fearful thing to really stop any enveloping on the flanks where maybe the numbers in that specific area aren't to his favour. So we're having some dual rolls here. We've got a big 6 from Ryan. We've got a 2 from Liam. It's made it into a 3, so that's going to go to Ryan. No wounds. Just quickly consulting the wound chart. No additional wounds. Looks like a few more games have come to a conclusion elsewhere. This game's getting a bit of attention now. That one was drawn, and it's gone to Liam on the roll-off for equal fight skill. Liam taking another one based on fight skill there. And Ash is returning to us. You're going to have to turn your mic on to give us... sorry?
Some people want to wait till the end of the game.
Okay. How many? Ash was just saying that he's tried to collect the best sporting, but quite a few of them want to wait until the end of the game. That's not really the case that we found at the last tournament, was it? We were able to collect them quite early. I mean, there's only 30 minutes left, but, you know, I guess there's a few games out there where they're worried how things might wind up in the closing minutes. So they're just continuing down the battle line. Double ones from Liam there. It's gone to Ryan. Big 6 from Ryan. Takes that dual roll. It doesn't look like he's done enough to win though. Liam's taken another combat on fight skill. Fight skill has played quite a big part in resolving a lot of these combats. That was something Liam said to us in his interview earlier about the importance of Fight 4 in his army. Right, I'm going to leave you for a second because I need to take a brief toilet break. And then I'm going to keep the cameras rolling, but I'll be back with my commentary shortly.
I need to be one of those. 6. So any yes, my shield hero. He's got 1 left. Oh, okay. Didn't realise he had any. Yeah, the guy down here is usually done. He's just winning. Oh, okay. Yes. He has 1. You're not counting. It doesn't cause terror yet, does it? No. Which is good because it's no spoilers. I mean, yeah, because it's my priority anyway. So he will call with me.
Right, I am back. So yeah, I just wanted to use the opportunity while I was on my feet. You may have seen me briefly in camera, having a bit of a nosy at the ins and outs of what's going on here. I can't see Greenberg. I don't know where he is, but I didn't want to intrude too much, so I've stepped away from my spine. But one thing I was able to see is that there are quite a few models on. You've just seen Liam sort of moving them around. Over on that far side, there are a surprising amount of models over there. We're not talking loads, but there are 3 or 4 over there. I wonder what they're up to. It's the buildings, isn't it? It's protecting the buildings. That's what they're doing. So yeah, we can actually see there is one with a flaming brand on the right-hand side, near side, just touching that step. You know, it could be a diversion. That may not be the building. But yeah, then on the other side, you've got that collection of Lian's forces over there, and the Witch King he's come out from his hiding place. You have to wonder whether maybe Ryan's target is something over there. As I say, like if we're not interfering or anything, so what we've discussed over here isn't, they're not necessarily aware of what we said. But if either player has looked at the rankings or done the maths prior, actually, they will be very, very aware that they are looking for a major win here to certify that first place finish. I'm hoping Ash might return to us shortly so that we can get a timing update. Can't be all that long left now. I mean, I think we're not a million miles away from an hour 20. We are in the closing stages of the game. Ryan has just done a black dart. You saw him use quite a lot of will just to take that model out, and then a 5 to wound, spending those resources. He doesn't have the might to rely on like he would have if he hadn't had that terrible situation with the fate. Or fortunate if you're backing Liam for this. Although I would like to see, you know, you've heard us chat in the background and stuff. I would like to see Centurion take home the win. Liam would certainly be a worthy champion for the tournament. First time I've met him, seems like a great bloke. A little bit of envy from me, I've got to say. Like, if you watch the list preview, I was originally going to play. You know, life happens. It's a reason why we've got people that can stand up and stand down for our tournaments to make sure there is no chance of a bye and that we can have as full a house as possible. But yeah, we unfortunately did have somebody drop. So on the plus side, we wouldn't be able to do this coverage if I was playing. Just discussing which duels they're going to do now. Liam's just won. He's going to roll to a wound. Bit of luck for Ryan there. He survived 4 rolls against him to wound. Bit of might being spent there to turn a 5 into a 6 for Liam. Falls to wound. That's double 2s. Ooh. It's an inevitable part of the game, but you do hate that when you spend it to win, and then the wound rolls don't go your way. bit of a stalemate there. Only real thing happening on that flank was the might being spent. And now they're going to work from that right-hand side over. 6 for Liam. He's going to roll to wound. Can re-roll the 1. No wound. Two on 1. Big 6 for Ryan. Wounds him. Blades of the Dead playing a factor there, I think. Leon manages to hit back with a casualty of his own.
Yeah, sorry.
One wound.
It's actually 3. Yeah, so it is. So 3. Good job. I got one. Use the second thing. Use the third thing.
So I wanted to say quiet there while I was going through. Saruman, I believe. It was Saruman has just had to spend all 3 fate to avoid 1 wound. So a bit of a reversal of what we saw earlier with the Witch King. Very similar thing happened to Leon there. What, you know, someone that is better at maths than me will have to give me the odds. What are the odds of failing 3-4 up rolls in a row? Not great. 2, I imagine, it's not great odds of failing. 25% maybe? I don't know. Let us know in the comments if you do. Sorry about that. So, you know, at this stage in the game, it is hard to know the specifics. We know that Ryan killed a hero early on, and that is then sort of impacted his gameplay. He definitely changed up his game plan after that. Saruman is being quite heavily attacked there. That's obviously Ryan trying to pick up some more or some victory points. We can see that Leon definitely is in contact with a piece of terrain. And he's got possibly the option to move on to some others, but we just can't be certain. The only way we're going to know exactly how this game lies is speaking with the players at the end of it. Just obviously we've got a bit of limited information here, so I'm trying to be quiet. I'm trying to listen to what is going on at the table.
Ash is just totaling up the best sporting votes, most sporting, I should say. I haven't seen any carriage tests or anything like that, so it doesn't appear to me that either side is broken. Yeah.
Thank you. Honestly, perfect.
Sorry, I was just saying goodbye to someone. No doubt we're moving towards the closing stages of this game now. Probably no more than about 10 minutes of open play here, and then we'll be calling the no further time. Ash, can you do us a favour and just go have a look at how long is left? What? 10 minutes left. 10 minutes left of this game. So yeah, 5 minutes of open play. As you'll be aware, when we reach 5 minutes, it will be declared no further turns. I think we're going to have to let's have a look at the points and see if we can try and figure out how this one maybe has gone. So, I mean, it's so hard. I mean, we there's 5 points for the nominated hero thing, so it could, we could be looking at Ryan has picked up 10 points for killing and surviving. But then the terrain is worth 5 points. It is just so hard to predict. We can't tell. Neither general has been wounded, so that's still up for grabs. Only 3 points for only up to 3 points for breaking. So it's not that important really. So much lies on who did you choose to protect.
Yeah, because you have to roll sixes all the time.
We'll do one-on-one.
Did one did you?
So right now they're rolling for those combats that are going on behind that house. I'm sorry you can't see more, but it is fairly limited what's going on over there. That is where Saruman's hanging around though. Ash, can you give us a thumbs up or thumbs down if Saruman is still knocking about over there? I think he is. Yeah, Saruman is still alive. So yeah, I'm pretty sure he hasn't taken a wound. Just resolving these combats. Working our way through. 5, that'll do it for Ryan. I know it's a roll-off. And it goes to him because he's elected to be more evil. And a kill. Could prove pivotal. We don't know. You just don't know with Fog of War. Having to be a little bit quieter again because the gaming day is starting to wrap up here. A few people that have made long trips and don't sort of feel that they're going to be up there or are going to pick up the necessary most sporting votes. Maybe didn't enter best army. Just sort of starting to make a move now. Only one or two of them. Vast majority of players still here, but looking around the gaming hall, I would say we've probably got only about half of the games still underway. In the closing stages of this game now. It really sort of depends how quickly they progress through this, whether we're going to get another turn. Oh, and that said, they are on to priority, so here we go. This could well be the last turn. 3. So it looks like Ryan has won it, and Leon is calling a heroic move. So who is he doing this with? Trying to figure this out. He's doing it at the battle line, so we can take from that Leon has at least one other chieftain alive, or the oath maker or a chieftain. I'm pretty sure it's the oath maker he's still got alive.
No, yeah. So it's whether I'm not sure. Really just say pass go. Because if he doesn't have to take a courage test, he doesn't do stand fast.
So if he's broken, then there's a guy that's fearless, he still has to do courage test. Yeah, fearless is more for charging.
Are you sure? I thought fearless was you pass any courage test you're required to make.
Yeah, but that means you'd never be able to run away technically.
So yeah, basically, a model with this special rule automatically passes any courage test.
So you never run away?
Sorry, just assisting. Oh, okay. We're going to have the announcement. No more turns. Here it goes.
Yeah, and that would be the issue.
All right, it's the 5-minute warning. So this will be the last turn, and then we will try and get you some closure on this as to which way it's gone.
If he doesn't have to take the courage test, then it becomes an issue.
So they're just sort of discussing how Fearless interacts with the Standfast. I'm just going to flick through the rulebook, see if I can assist.
What was your building? Well, I thought it would be a bit cheeky because it's like it's borderline whether it's all doing in.
So, guys, just to pipe in, yeah, Fearless is you automatically pass any courage test you're required to take.
Thanks.
Yeah, okay, all right. I was too late. They had already sorted it.
And then yours had to be my captain. The double bluffs.
Ryan just confirming over there, if that is his building, he doesn't know. This is very much fog of war. Which way is it going to go? So I can sort of see from this angle that building that you can see the Witch King on the very far side, sort of near where that notebook is. There are more models around the other side, so yeah, sort of some double bluffs here. So just to go over the stuff about the terrain pieces, it only has to be wholly within your opponent's half of the board. So that piece over there is viable. They're all viable, the ones we're seeing in contact here. We're really not going to know until we have a chat with the players at the end of this. I think we will see the natural conclusion of this turn. I can't imagine that it's going to suddenly stop.
I mean, it might not be happening.
May have to get those player interviews at the end of the tournament. We're gonna have to see how this pans out because we are going to time. I need to reposition some other things. Some final moves going on here, like the people moving into contact with buildings, as you can see. So many questions for Fog of War. I'm sorry we can't give you something more definitive, but until we know the writing on the wall, we're not going to know which way it lies. John's just sat down with us. We could have a little chat with him while we watch the final parts of this. I'm just sorting out the microphone. There we go. John, say hello.
Hello, everyone.
Yeah,
is this live?
It's not live. It's being recorded.
So I can swear and you can edit.
I'd prefer not to edit. Everybody knows I hate editing. But yeah, John, we're just watching the final moments of the top table.
Yeah.
It's Fog of War, so we don't know which way it's gone.
Do we not know? Is it?
We don't know. No.
So it's been surprise for everyone.
A lot of me speculating, basically.
Okay.
But yeah, we know that Ryan has killed at least one hero.
Okay.
That could be significant. We've got quite a lot of movement towards some very specific terrain pieces.
Okay. And it's quite a terrain heavy board, that.
It is. But you can sort of see up here, we've got the Witch King. He's made a beeline for this.
Yeah.
We've got a couple of brands down here, and then last moment we've had some brands move towards this building as well.
Some proper mind games being played. Some proper mind games.
But this is going to be the absolute final turn.
Yeah.
But yeah, the viewers have had to put up with me wildly speculating for at least 20 minutes now.
Well, we'll see if it works.
Yeah. But as the people who have watched up to this point will be well aware, if either player achieves a major victory, they are the winner of the tournament.
Really?
Yeah.
No way.
Nothing can stop that. If it goes to a minor victory, it's dependent on victory points.
Wow. So it's very close then.
Yeah.
So the day, very much like our first tournament, it went down to literally the last dice roll.
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
To determine the winner, and we're having exactly the same thing now. That's great.
And we're not going to know which one of them it is until they open up those pieces of paper and reveal what their targets were.
Yeah. Okay. Fair play.
How did your last game go, though, John?
One.
You won one.
I won one finally.
Good.
I won one finally. Well, it's all right. No, I came into it expecting to only do 4 losses. So to do 4 losses, or 3 losses and 1 win.
I told you. Oh, the players have shaken hands. The game is over.
Well, go on, figure out what's going on here.
Yeah. Now we've just got to wait to find out who's actually won. Okay, just a quick courage test at the end there.
He just said he was a hero to keep alive. He pointed at something. What was
Okay,
it?
that's significant.
We're all waiting with bated breath.
It sounds like Ryan did indeed kill his hero target. However, it doesn't sound like he got the one that Leon needed to protect.
And then my kill was the waffle captain, and keep alive was green.
Oh.
So mine was small action. Kill with your chieftain, which is the first thing I tried to do. Keep alive was my captain with the
So Ryan's kept his alive. I'm not sure how the terrain pieces have played out because there's multiple models in contact. So we'll hopefully get a score in a moment. Totaling it up.
You can cut the tension, can't you, John?
You really can. It's almost like watching England on penalties.
I mean, I've been watching this for an hour and 40 minutes. I have no idea who's won. So Grimmer is alive, so he gets 5 victory points for that. He's taken no wounds. I assume he just kept him out of the way.
If the nominate hero is still alive and the suffered no wounds, that's what. The nominate hero is still alive and the suffered no wounds, and no big wounds, so don't get 5.
They both got 5 for that, 5 apiece.
So the opponent's hero models, you've killed him, so you get 5. And
Ryan's killed, so he gets an additional 5.
Start single terrain piece.
I think it's maybe 10-5 right now.
Yeah, I think so.
And then kill the general to
He's killed the general, he killed Saruman. Can we have a final score, fellas? 20-5 to Ryan. So that will mean that Ryan takes home first place with a major victory.
News just in.
Yeah,
We now know the winner.
it's just in.
Right, everybody, I'm going to go. I need to go sort out some shop stuff.
Liam, do you have a couple of minutes? Yeah. Just to give us your closing thoughts. I mean,
Yeah, of course, yeah.
I've been wildly speculating for about 30 minutes. I had no idea what was going on. I could see what was happening at the table, but you never know with Fog of War.
Yeah, true. Yeah. So I picked his captain with like a waffle shield.
Yeah.
And didn't manage to quite get to him to be able to do anything to him. I thought at first that I was going to have a chance of killing the Witch King, but just couldn't take him down. And just like every time I was casting spells, I was rolling ones to wound or ones to cast. So I lost my opportunity really to sort of get the general kill.
Yeah, I mean, I saw you have a great start with that lightning strike.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, got a few down with that. I didn't kill his banner, so that was also another one that was kind of a thorn in my side. I didn't manage to kill the banner off because I didn't kill the 2 guys during base contact with him. So when I killed the banner, he just passed it on. So there was that. And then the Witch King, because we'd agreed beforehand to roll in the tray.
Yeah, I
when he
saw
rolled
that,
that fate save, he rolled it out of the tray, and we had to say, well, no, you have to re-roll it. And that was when he burnt through all his fate and 2 of his might points. So the Witch King had 1 might, no fate left, which was massive for me, because then I thought, right, I can get him now with some spells, but the spells just never came off from Saruman, which was rough, really. That's kind of what sort of cost me it, because I couldn't get the general kill, and then he was able to then come out with the Witch King, bring his target out and kill his target. So he killed his target early on, and I knew that was what was going to be the case, but with his magic I can't really resist for those heroes. I've got 1 will point.
Yeah.
Short of just hiding them at the back of the board, which is just no fun for anyone.
I mean, positives, it did seem to me at least that the fight skill we spoke about earlier, that won you quite a lot of combats.
Yes. Yeah, the Fight 4 really did win a lot of fights against the Eagles. I think even if I'd have had more numbers, there would have been a lot more 50-50 roll-offs if we'd have done that, and I hadn't had that Fight 4. So, but it was a good game. It was very killy, very swingy, and I just couldn't quite keep Saruman out of combat. Because if I'd have had him out of combat, maybe a couple of extra turns, could have killed the captain, which I didn't realise he was trying to keep alive, which was the moon-shaped shield guy.
You just never know with Fog of War.
You don't. No, you really don't. No.
Just do your best and hope for the best.
Yeah. You just try and do your own objectives, and then as long as you've done those, just hope your opponent hasn't managed theirs. But and then the Crobane dying early on was definitely my fault. But
I saw that. Did he use the Spectres to do that? Did he?
No, one of them was my choice to charge one in, and I probably just shouldn't have. It was a bad choice on my part, but I was trying to stop the 1 warband of orcs coming straight across into my 1 warband of.
That was that sort of on the far side of the table?
Yeah, so they sort of come across. So I thought I'd charge the Crobane in to try and slow them down, a bit of a speed bump. But It cost me the Crabane, which cost me the terrain piece, really, I think, more than anything else.
Well, absolute sincere commiserations. It looked like a really good, hotly contested game.
Very much so. Yeah, I think if my managed to come off, I've been alright. So.
Yeah, and I hope you choose to make the trip here again.
Yeah, it was great. Absolutely loved it. Yeah, I've never done 3-1, so that's an interesting one for me. So it's a new landmark. So
all right, well,
definitely take that.
Hopefully you get a decent finish. I think you should do with 3-1.
Yeah, hopefully top 5 would be great. Yeah, that'd be nice. Yeah, if I can come top 3, I'd be amazed. But I haven't got a bad MOV.
It would depend on victory points. We were looking at it.
Yeah,
I think
I've not done too badly on victory points, but that last game was a 25. So.
I think, I'm doing the maths in my head. I think it is possible to come third, but I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's all right. Top 5 would be good for me, so I don't mind that. And a GBHL90, that's great.
All right, cheers. Well, thank you very much for your time, mate. Could you tap Ryan on the shoulder?
When we first done, they were like, "Oh, you have to wait."
Sorry, we're just trying to get the tournament champion. Sorry. Have you got a moment? Just a quick reaction, Ryan. That was a sorry, didn't Mike say? That was a major victory.
Yes.
So I'm pretty confident in saying that you have won the tournament.
Excellent.
With 4 major victories, it's mathematically impossible for that not to be the case.
Good.
Disastrous start for you with
Massively.
the lightning strike.
Yes, and I had to be extremely reserved with a witching after that. I was like, he's got 1 wound, there's magic that can come at him. I know I've got a lot of will, but it'd be typical I would get, blasted and roll 5 will to resist and just fail. And I get negative rolls, I think it's -1 to all resist tests against him as well. So so he just had to be really reserved after that, basically.
But then, some really good moves on the comeback. It looked like you spec-through the Crabane in, took care
Both
of that.
them, yeah. That was sort of the plan from the beginning, is they've got low intelligence, so just first plan was get them both pulled in, get them killed, which was pretty much within 2 turns, really.
Yeah, that was very early on.
Yeah, and that's it. And then I thought that's going to reduce his being able to hide potentially and be able to see me from everywhere.
Well, Ash pointed out with the buildings as well.
Absolutely.
The ability to just ping somewhere completely different right at the end.
Yeah, that's it.
And it looked like you also managed to spectre one of his heroes forward, take him out, and that was your target, I take it.
Exactly. So, and then as soon as that was done, I mean, it was just playing strategically from that point on, really protecting the king, because it was no wounds, it was just fate that was gone at that point. I know I'd killed my target, and he only had 2 viable options. And the great thing about the Mini-Smorgasbord list is you don't need the heroes to do anything. The troops are good enough when he's only got courage +7. I don't need any heroes to do the legwork, and that's exactly what happened.
Were you broken at the end, or did you avoid
I
that?
didn't get
Not
broken at the end. Yeah,
the numbers won out then.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I got broken once out of the 4 games today. Although 2 of them I probably should have been broken. It was just sheer fluke and lucky dice that I wasn't. But no, I mean, all in all, I can't complain. It's a really good list. Yeah, it went well.
Okay, well, I know it's been a long day. We've interviewed you once already,
Absolutely,
so I don't want to keep you for too much longer. But sincere congratulations. I know you slightly missed out on the podium last time. It's really nice to see you take home the win, and for the Centurions, the home team.
Absolutely.
All right, well, cheers. Thank you very much.
Cheers.
So guys, look, thank you very much for coming down today. So I know some of you know me, some of you don't. I'm John. I'm the store owner, and the collaboration that Venator and Middle-earth and Mercia have is just growing bigger and bigger and bigger every single month, every single tournament. So genuinely, thank you very much for coming down. I know some of you travelled quite far, come from, I think Sheffield's the furthest one today. There's a Leeds as well. Yeah, like. So look, genuinely thank you very much. We put a lot of work and a lot of effort into the background of this, try and bring you the sort of best experience we can. We're all tabletop gamers, and it's a big passion of mine to make sure that when you're all here, your comfort levels are great, the boards you get to play on are great, and we all have a good time. So genuinely thank you very much for that. Without further ado though, let me pass you over to my co-host.
Thanks, John. So yeah, I just want to thank the guys behind the till today, helping out in the store. John for setting up a good event as usual. My assistant to the TO, Sonny, who's been doing a lot of content today, so keep an eye on the YouTube. And then thanks to you guys as well for making our job easy, because there's not been a lot of questions, and you all seem to have got on really well, and that's reflected in the most sporting votes, definitely. So thank you for you guys as well.
And thank you, Ash.
Thank you. Yeah. So the one that the bit that everyone's been waiting for. So we'll start off with the best army. So our best army winner today was Tom Marsh with his Dale army, which was brilliantly painted.
Thank you very much.
Stand further this way for the next one.
That would be great.
Yeah, sure.
And then next up, we've got the most sporting vote. So most sporting was Richard Ancliffe.
You get screwed down next time.
So next up, we've got third place, which was Matthew Light Barnett. Oh, he's gone. Oh. Thanks, Matthew. I'll take the voucher. And then second place, we've got Loz Barfoot. This one. This is going to be a video, just me standing here.
Most of it is, yeah.
And after a thrilling last game where we sort of interrupted a little bit and filmed it, the first place goes to Ryan Blinklow.
You got it at the end, well. Cheers.
Okay. Yeah, so thanks again, everyone. And our next event's May the 12th, 11th? May the 11th.
Tickets left as of this morning.
And that's got another unique special rule. It's called Perfectly Balanced. And Sonny's wrote the event pack with quite a few special rules in that one. So make sure you get a ticket because it's going to be another good event. So yeah, thanks everyone.
Cheers, guys. Thank you very much. Safe trip home.